Yeah. Can you hear me? I cannot hear you.
There you go. Hi,
Yeah. Okay.
Trihn. Hello.
I'm sorry.
For me, it's good morning. I guess for you, it's good night.
Yes.
How are you? How was your day? How was your Thursday?
uh, I'm a little bit tired, but it's all right for me.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Why so? Why so? Why
Why so?
so is when I ask, you said I am tired. So why so? It's a way of asking what is the reason of you being tired?
Because I needed to work from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. for the day.
Wow. Okay. So because I worked long because I worked a long shift. Because you worked a long shift from
Yes,
8 to 8.
it's a
Wow,
long shift.
those are what, 12 hours?
Yes, 12 hours.
Oh, wow. Okay. Because I worked a long shift, okay? So I'm curious, what did you have for breakfast today? What did you have for lunch and for dinner?
For breakfast, I eat a bread uh, at office, and I eat pasta for lunch, and I haven't eaten anything for dinner.
And what do you usually have for dinner?
Oh, can you repeat, please?
Sure. What do you usually have for dinner?
Rice, because
Okay.
it's quite like culture in Vietnam. People not normally eat rice for dinner.
Really? Wow. In El Salvador, people eat rice only for lunch. Like you would eat
Oh,
rice with, I don't know, like with chicken. Like it would be like a companion. So you would have chicken and then with rice and salad, or beef, rice and salad, or fish, rice and salad.
mm,
But it's not very common that we have rice at night unless it's mixed with beans. I like
oh.
mixed beans and
Actually,
rice.
we eat rice for lunch and dinner. We eat
Mm.
a lot of rice.
Do you combine it or do you eat it by itself? Like, do you combine it with something or do you eat it by
Uh,
itself?
we combine with something like a
Okay.
fish or vegetable or meat.
Okay.
Something
Fantastic.
we yes, we didn't just eat rice only. We eat with something.
Okay. Ah, okay. Yeah, it's not like it's just by itself, right?
Ah, I feel really hard to see you because you like your glasses. I'm
Ah,
sorry.
yes. What happens is that I use my glasses, this type of glasses, for the screen reflection because the
Yes, yes.
screen reflection makes me achoo, achoo. It makes me sneeze all the time. So that's why I
Mm.
use the glasses just for the screen. But I cannot. It's okay. I don't have to use them. So
You
that's
can
fine.
use normal background like me, so that is better to see.
If I can use normal background.
Just normal background like me
Oh,
because your picture is moving a lot.
ah, really? Let me see. Hmm. Let me change the background. Dun, dun, dun. Like this?
Mm.
Is
No,
it
it's
better?
not normal. Yes, it's better.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah,
Yes.
that's the reason why I use glasses because of the reflection of the screen. And it makes me achoo, achoo. It makes me sneeze
Mhm.
all the time. Yes. So remember in our last session we were doing describing commercials. I have a question. Did you do yours? Did you work on yours?
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I I chose a commercial and I try to describe by myself, but it's really hard for me.
It's okay. The idea, I want you to do this activity, like try to do it the days that we don't have sessions, okay? The dates that we don't connect. I want you to try to do it for homework. Always pick a commercial until you feel you gain confidence, okay? Of being able to describe an event in real time. So the idea is for you to practice. Choose one commercial, or it doesn't really have to be, like I was telling you on the voice note yesterday, it doesn't really have to be a Super Bowl commercial. It can be any other type of commercial. For example, the ones that you would actually watch on TV locally. Okay, you pick the commercial and you try to describe it in English. Or an event at work and you try to describe it on your own. Okay, so I see two girls that are walking and they're actually planning where they're going to go, maybe to have lunch or breakfast. So try to describe events in real time. This is going to help you a lot for your daily life, okay, to be able to describe in English events that are happening around you in real time, okay?
Yes.
Okay, super. Just give me a minute. That's why I use glasses, see? I'm allergic to the reflection of the screen. The intensity of the screen makes me sneeze. I don't know why. So yeah.
It's the first time I heard about that.
It makes me sneeze unconsciously. I don't know why. So yeah. Okay, so the one you did. So tell me about the one you did.
Yes. I can share my screen now. Can you see my screen?
Okay. Yes, I can.
The commercial I chose.
Güzeliz biz. Ellerimiz de böyle ince ve narindir. Ha, bu arada söylemiş miydim? Altını çok severim. Yakışır da. Kenarda sessiz sakin kendi halimizde oturuyoruz. Öyle herkesin kime kahkaha falan da atmayız. Lütfen yapar mıyız hiç? Siz bizi bilirsiniz. Değil mi?
The reason I chose this commercial because the girl in this commercial does a lot of activities, so it's really easy for me to describe.
Okay, fantastic. Just mute the video, put the video on mute, and then go ahead and describe it, okay?
Just a minute. Yes. It's going now.
Yes, go ahead. As you wish.
It is a family. They are taking photos together. The girl is smiling a lot when she is taking pictures with her parents, with her family. And after that, she changed her clothes and do boxing. And does boxing. After do sports, she came home and cook a cake by her strong hands. And then she does weightlifting. After doing a lot of exercise, she won a medal. And she was interviewed and taken a lot of pictures.
Okay.
But at home, she is a humble person who is always listening to her mom. She has a group of friends who is doing cheerleader in a club. they practice a lot, and it seems to be they are very happy and full of energy with their activities.
Mhm.
I don't know how to describe. she she wear she's wearing
Steps
her
on.
suit
Mhm.
and claps. I don't know, claps the house.
And the house collapses. Mhm.
They are wearing the suit and move to new woods.
Mhm. Wow, interesting. Good job. I really liked it. I noticed I felt you more confident about it, so that's really good. Congratulations on that. The only thing and something that we will be working on is the use of sequence connectors. Remember how I mentioned this? And maybe I didn't add this to our let's see, let me show you here.
Mm.
Dun, dun, dun. Okay, sequence connectors, the ones that you would use when describing, and I think I had another one for this one. Hold on. Which are these ones, the ones that I usually use. For you to sound, when we describe an event, when we describe something in real time, we have to always use them to sound or to be able to transition through our ideas in a more organized way. You did it fantastically. We're just missing to add this couple of words that we have here, okay? We're just missing to add them. So I'll give you an example. Just let me add this one because I didn't add it. Here it is. This ones, which are like first, then, after, furthermore. Okay, those are called sequence connectors. Okay, the ones that we use, and then if you notice, we have the ones that we use at the beginning of our speech, in between our speech, and then at the end of our speech. Like, how can we conclude? How can we end? Okay, of course, you're gonna find them not in an organized way, but you can actually decide here. So I'm just going to copy them and we're going to place them in order here. And we're going to decide which ones are going to go where, okay? That way you know which ones to use for our next exercise. So very good. I really liked how you describe it. And then for homework, I want you to continue doing this exercise, okay? The days that we don't meet, continue picking commercials. And then again, out of your, right now you're doing it within your comfort zone, like easy activities. But little by little, I want you to start challenging yourself. For example, to the point that you can watch a K-drama or an episode of a K-drama and say, hey, I was able to describe it in English, right? So that's the idea, for you to get to that point, to move from a commercial to a K-drama and be able to describe it in English as well, okay? So let's go here. Okay, so if you notice here, we have a couple of words, and I'm gonna make the list here. The ones that we start with, the ones that go at the middle, and the ones that go at the end, right? We have these ones. Okay, I'm gonna make them end. So which ones would you use to describe at the beginning?
To start.
Okay, first, for example.
Oh, okay. To begin with.
To begin with, we can see in this commercial, we can see in this K-pop drama, we can see in this soap opera, we can see this series, etc. To begin with, firstly,
Firstly.
all of them are synonyms of to begin with. And then we go at the beginning. So this is just an example. Which ones would you use in the middle? So you start off with this to start off with.
Moreover, furthermore.
Exactly.
Secondly. Perfect.
Moreover, and I think I wrote something on the chat. Oh yeah. Then,
Furthermore, additionally. Furthermore.
meanwhile, and then maybe at the end to conclude. To summarize, last but not least, this is very common use in English, last but not least. Last but not least. Finally. Very good. Yes. So when you do this activity, I want you to start using them, okay? So first we see in our commercial that there is a girl taking a picture with her family. And after that we see, so every time you transition from one idea or from one scene to another, use your sequence connectors, okay? To sound more thorough on your speech, sound more organized and more natural. You don't have to use them all the time, but since we're also preparing Trihn for your TOEFL or IELTS exam, for a standardized exam, you're going to use them a lot, okay? Because that's what I do, right? I prepare people for this exam too. So you will need to use them because TOEFL asks us to actually use them. Any standardized test asks us to use our opinion phrases and our linking words, okay? Because then again, that way you sound more structured. It gives you a sense of like having a script of what is it that you have to say in a specific amount of time, right? So they tell you, speak about this topic for a minute, or they ask you a question and then you have to speak about it for 1 minute. So it opens up to that, okay? So that's why it's really important to actually use it. Okay. So here, what you're gonna do is also, I'm gonna try to make the list for you to have it already, the ones that you can use at the beginning, the ones that you can use while you're speaking, and the ones that you can use at the end, okay? That way you have them handy with you. Okay, now we today, because in today's activity, we're gonna be using them, and we're gonna be using another topic that I'm gonna be adding that. So today, when I ask you a question, we're going to be adding not only the sequence connectors, but we're also adding, oh, here is the list that I was talking about. But we're also adding hold on. There you go. So we're not only as, I'm sorry if sometimes they repeat, okay, because the idea is for you to have a bigger list. That's what I like to do with students. Give them a bigger list. That way they have more vocabulary to use. So in opinion phrases, you also have how to express your ideas. For example, when they're asking you something, you always start with, in my opinion, I think, or I consider that, or based on my expertise, I feel that, personally, I think that. You always have to include them whenever they ask you something, right? Specifically for this type of exams, but in real life, you also get this a lot. So we're going to be practicing them with questions. So I have a question generator that I'm going to use from the University of Washington. So you will see a question, and you, based on the question, you will go ahead and answer using your own opinion, and then I will give you feedback. And the idea is also to develop more vocabulary. Okay, so for example, let's start with one, just for you to practice. What issues would you always speak your mind about? What issue will you always speak your mind about?
So about the question.
This is your question. What issue will you always speak your mind about?
Sorry, I don't
Okay.
understand the question.
You don't understand the question. Okay. To yourself, to your mind when you're by yourself.
Yes.
When you're by yourself, what do you talk to your mind? Like saying inside your mind, Trihn, you have to remember you need milk. You have to go to the supermarket and buy it. Remember that. So what are the things that go inside your mind or that you speak with your mind while being by yourself?
Um, when I'm thinking about my job,
Mm-hmm.
always speak your mind about.
Okay. So you speak about your job, but then again, you have to use words like first, I think, in my opinion, remember?
Well, I think I always speak my mind about my job.
Mm-hmm.
More answer.
Or other things. Also, sometimes I think about errands that I have to run.
Yes, or what food should I eat for my
Mm-hmm.
meals? What does it mean by the word errands?
Errands. Errands are go to the supermarket, pay bills, go to the bank, walk to the store. Mm-hmm. Things that you have to do, but errands, not necessarily online errands. Nowadays, everybody does it online. Like maybe you pay the supermarket online and they bring it home, for example, or maybe you have to go to the bank to pay something and you don't do it online. So things that you don't do online. Those are errands. So you can talk about errands with your mind. You can talk about errands, about your likes. Oh, I saw this, I don't know, this pair of shoes the other day. I think I'll get them at the end of the month. For example, that's something that you could talk about likes, things that you saw and you liked. Meals, this week I would love to eat tuna sandwiches, for example. Errands, meals, likes. Worries also could be another one. I'm so concerned that I'm still sick and I've been sick like for 2 weeks and it doesn't go away. That could be something else. So not necessarily has to be one. What happens is that I want for you to start elaborating a little bit more and not just go to specific answers. Because in English you have to elaborate a little bit more outside that comfort zone box. So speak a little bit more. Like if you ask me, this is the way I would answer. What issues you always speak your mind about? That's an interesting question. I think that, listen, that's an interesting question. I think that I always speak my mind about my kids. What are they doing? What's their future? I'm always thinking of and planning activities to do with them. I'm also thinking of where can I take them to have fun over the weekend. Also about my classes, I'm always thinking that I have to prepare material and look for new websites out there. On the other side, I also think about, so see, what I'm trying to do is elaborate a little bit more to the answer. Because what happens is that this is what happens. This is your question. And then I can tell you, speak about this question for 1 minute. And you would say, oh, that's so difficult. Yes. So what do you do? Okay. What do you do and how do you approach that? Let me give you an example using the strategy for TOEFL. I'm going to use Fatima. This is another student I have. And for example, what we do is we create a what we call a script. So first, what you do is you give your opinion phrase, right? That is an interesting question. Personally, I think, and then I integrate the question being asked, and I say, I think about this, and this for the following reasons. First, because my kids are my priority, for example. So I'm giving you the first reason. Second, because I'm the one in charge at home of creating their agendas or da 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 da. So what I'm doing here is that I'm using a script. Okay, I'm using a script to come up with an answer. So this is something that you can do until you get comfortable with it. Until you get comfortable with it, and I exemplify. Because one of the things that you can do to expand and to be able to speak for 45 seconds or 60 seconds is that you need to use examples. That way it gives you enough time to comply with the time they're asking you for. Because what happens when you don't do it? When you don't do it, then in this case, your score goes down. Or in this case, it makes it, maybe she doesn't want to talk to me. If I was to tell you, I just think about my life. And then, right? What about your life? So you have to, well, about the fact that I want to travel, the fact that I want to I want to practice sports, or I want to start on a new hobby, etc. Okay? So this is what we're going to do. Okay? So you can create like your little script on how to answer a question. That way you get comfortable with it, and then eventually it will flow naturally. You will no longer need those scripts to actually do so. Let's try another question to see if we can practice with more questions, okay? So let's go with another one. If you had to change your name, what would you change it to?
Oh, I think it's a really interesting question, and I have never thought about it. But if I had a chance to change my name, I would change my name according to really famous public figure in Vietnam, because I also want to become a famous person like them.
Fantastic, see? And then you can even exemplify. We just need to add the example. For example, and then we would say the name of someone in Vietnam who's very famous.
For example, my university teacher, he is a really famous person who always give a lot of inspiration for his student. I'm talking about her. See, her students.
So he was very inspirational. Very good. Good job. See, that's how you answer. Personally, I think, well, that's an interesting question. Well, to be honest with you, very good. Good on elaborating it. So see, this is how you answer. So you will go far beyond, and you do it for anything. You do it for a job interview, you do it for a test, you do it when you're speaking to someone that you just met, because then that person will feel you're interested in the topic, you're interested in having a conversation, right? Okay, very good. Let's go with the next one. What's your favorite piece of clothing you own?
Okay. Well, I have a lot of clothes now, because whenever I will feel stressed, or whenever I receive my salary, I tend to go to shopping mall with my friends, and I will buy lots of clothes. So I'm not sure what kind of clothes that I'm really interested in, but I think just some casual clothes that I'm wearing at home now is exactly to my liking.
Okay. But what's your favorite piece? Like, do you have a specific, maybe because your mom gave it to you, maybe because your best friend gave it to you for birthday, like a favorite piece? It doesn't have to be.
My favorite clothes would be my gift from my father, who bought me a pieces of clothes when I moved to Japan.
Okay. So that could be a answer for a question. And then you could be more specific. For example, if you were to ask me, wow, that's an interesting question. I would say my favorite piece of clothing, because you have to refer to one, would be a scarf. A scarf my mom gave me before she passed away, because my parents already passed away. Before my mom passed away, and it was because I was sick, so she said I had to protect my throat, and she never asked back for it. So it is very special for me because, you know, it doesn't matter how many years we go now, I will always keep it because it's a special piece for me. So see, like when you refer to one favorite piece of clothing. So you don't have to generalize, but you would have to go specifically because the question is, what's your favorite piece of clothing? Okay, so a scarf, a pair of mittens, a hat, a sweater, a jumpsuit, a pair of socks. So what would it be for you?
My favorite species of clothes would be a pair of shoes that I received from my best friend. She gave me before I moved abroad.
Oh, okay. See, yes, that's what makes it special. And I always keep them with me, even if they don't fit anymore. Da 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 da, and so on and so forth. Very good. Okay, good job. Let's go with the next one. Who was your favorite teacher and why?
My favorite teacher was my math teacher who taught me when I was in high school, because before I got into high school, I didn't interest. I didn't want to study. I feel it's a really boring to try to uh, get to try to learn a lot and get into university. But after I met her, she taught me a lot of things that I have never thinking about it before. And she gave me the way to do my homework in interesting way. That is really that really impressed me, and I still remember her the way she taught me until now.
Fantastic. Very good answer. Wow, I really loved it. Very good, Trihn. Good job. Very good answer. And see, it's because that's how well you knew your teacher, right? Like, and how inspiring this teacher was for you in your life. And you exemplify. Good job. You did use a couple of examples in your answer. Good job. Good job. Interesting. We always have that favorite teacher, right? Now that you mention it, I was thinking about myself. I was like, who was my favorite teacher and why? And I think the reason why I became a teacher was because of a teacher I had at school. She later on became a famous Salvadoran presenter. But when she was a youngster, she was like in her 20s. She was my first grade teacher. But I remember we had a blast in her class, and that was before, because we had a civil war in our country, and then we had an earthquake. So that was before that. I was in first grade, and I remember I said, when I grow up, I want to be like her. So I decided that as soon as I graduated, I became a teacher, and look at me now, half of my life teaching. So I really love it because of that experience. So yes, that was a really nice answer you shared with me too.
Well, you mentioned the words have a blast.
A blast.
A blast. What does it mean?
Had the time of my life. Had fun. So let's say you go out with your friends and you say, oh, we went to the movies, or we went to just to give you an example, we went to the movies and we had a blast. It was so fun. So it's a way of saying it was so fun. That's a blast. It's a synonym for, or you can also say, I had the time of my life. Like when you have fun too. Okay. What is an unpopular opinion you have?
Well, that's interesting question. It is my first time to see some kinds of question like this. So I think it came up to my mind about the answer for this question would be some opinion about my job, because my job now is customer service. Sometimes I can have my way to serve customer, but my opinion is totally different with my co-workers. So we have a lot of way to serve customer, and it's totally different.
And then the unpopular opinion could be a phrase that you have and say, oh, this goes against customer service. So you would say, but it wouldn't really go with your job, right? So, in this hotel, there's no customer service. And you know that even though you are part of the customer service department, for example, but then you're thinking the other way around because you notice that customers are not really receiving the service they should. For example, that would be an unpopular opinion. It would go far beyond the opposite of what you would really have to transmit, which is customer service. That would be an example of an unpopular opinion. Or I'm a teacher and I would say, I don't know, an unpopular opinion as a teacher would be, yeah, I'm not teaching my kids well at home, for example. That would be very unpopular to say for you, if you're a teacher. You're supposed to be a great teacher and a good teacher. So but you're not teaching your kids good at home, that's unpopular to say. Not very common to say, you're a teacher, but your kids, for example, my oldest son knows English, and now he's learning French. But my youngest son does not know English, and I try to make him speak English, but it's very difficult. So I have to go by his likes. So it would be very unpopular to say that I'm a teacher and he should be and he should know the language by now, but he doesn't.
Is that true story? Is that true story about your kid?
With my
Because
kids,
yes, because I think you are living in the United States and you need to speak English.
no, in our countries, it's here. English is like a second language, so it's very common that people speaking, but not everybody speaks it
But
that well.
you are living in the United States.
I'm sorry.
You are living in the United States.
No, I don't. I live in El Salvador.
Ah,
I live in Central. Yes, I have never lived in the States. What happens is that I went to the American school here. And since I was a baby, my first language was English. My dad spoke to me in English all the time. But my dad spoke to me in British English. And then he enrolled me in an American school in where all my teachers were American. So after that, when I graduated, I became a teacher. I was 17 years old when I became a teacher. I didn't even have an ID, and he would cash my checks, I remember. But what I want to tell you is that here it's very common because we have a lot of call centers, right? So that's like the major income, and we have a lot of tourism going on. People speak about now about Bitcoins and about our president. So our country is standing out from the crowd because of everything. So almost everybody speaks the language, and for me back in the days, it was very common to speak the language because it was my first language. So I became a teacher at a very young age. Then again, I was 17 and now I'm 43. So yes, I started at a very young age, and I still work with them because I study at the American school, and now I work with them on Saturdays. So I go to the American school on Saturdays to teach. And sometimes they always give me intermediates, high intermediates, and advanced levels. So I love it. It's like a passion for me. Teaching is really good. So what I like is um then again is to be able to teach nicely to students. But it happens that at home, you cannot force your kids to actually speak the language because you're always speaking in English and they're like, oh no, I don't want to speak in English too, right? So my oldest, he's fine with it, but my youngest, I'm still working him out. So yeah. What dumb accomplishment are you most proud of?
what damn?
Dumb is like a little bit silly. Like you say, oh, yeah, like a silly accomplishment you are very proud of.
I have never thinking about it. I have never thought about it. Because I do a lot of dumb, I mean, stupid things on a daily basis. But I think the most stupid thing that I've never done is that um I try to teach my Japanese friends in Vietnamese. It is my native language, but for them it's really hard to understand. So I try to I try to spend a lot of time teaching them, but at the end they forgot all of them. So for me it was a dumb accomplishment that I
Interesting. Wow. Yes, it must be difficult. Uh-huh. Okay. But I don't think that's very dumb. Dumb would be something, for example, say, hey, I learned how to fix for example, like, I learned how to build a box. Like you created, like you grab some paper and cut it and then created your own box. Okay,
but
cardboard.
for me it is a really dumb experience because they don't like Vietnamese language. I just try to teach them really hard. I spend a lot of time for them, but then they end up trying to learn some Vietnamese words,
Hmm.
but uh like when they don't practice every day they
Forget.
forgot. Yes,
They forget. Because they don't practice every day.
it's a waste of
Okay.
my time.
How do you say, for example, how do you say teacher in Vietnamese?
Cô giáo.
Old out?
Yes.
Old out? Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Mm.
Oh, I like languages, so I think it's very interesting that you teach them another language. I guess Japanese is a difficult language to learn, is it?
It's really difficult. I've been living here for 5 years, and I've spending a lot of time to try to learn Japanese, but still a lot of words I don't know how to use.
Yes, I must imagine. Wow. Next question. Pancakes or waffles?
I don't know both.
You don't? Well, let's learn about them. Or you have never tried them.
I don't know what it is.
These are pancakes. These are pancakes for breakfast. Usually Americans have them for breakfast. We have them here too. And these are waffles. They're very similar. They're made of the same dough, but the machine is different that you use them because these ones are shaped, but it's pretty much the same dough. Pancakes and waffles. It's just a shape as you see.
I want to try both in the future because actually we just eat some kind of soup for breakfast. I so but from the pictures that you showed me, I think I would rather waffles
Mm-hmm.
because I think pancake is too sweet for me because a lot of like I think there is a honey on the top. It's
Mm-hmm.
nice.
Because of the fruit and everything, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes. They're tasty. They're really good. The dough, it's actually like mm, have you tried this ones? Have you tried this ones? No? With no?
I haven't.
None? Okay.
It's
Okay, so
grape,
it would be very
but
difficult.
yes, I used to eat grape in Japan. With a lot of fruit inside. It's really delicious.
Okay. So that's pretty much the same flavor
Yes, yes,
that
yes.
pancakes and waffles
It
have.
it cover was made from egg, so I can feel the egg flavor. It was really good.
Egg and also let's see, what is it? What's the other one that I wanted to show you? There was another one that I wanted to show you. but maybe I don't remember the word. I'll remember another time. Let's go with our next question. What incredibly strong opinion do you have that is completely unimportant in the grand scheme of things? That's a difficult question.
Yes, I don't understand.
So, what is a strong opinion you have about an unimportant topic?
So opinion. It I'm not sure the strong opinion that I have related to my decision of my younger brother about his university. I argued a lot with my mom to try to choose a best university for him, but finally, the most the decision is from him. So I try a lot to argue with my mom, but finally he just chose the university that he want to get in.
So, when kids graduate from school, their parents are not allowed to decide on which university they should go to?
No, my mom have his my mom have his own opinion about university that my younger brother should go, and I have a different
Opinion.
university that I think he should go. But finally, he choose the university that he want to go. It's a different opinion from my mom and my.
Okay, I get it. Here, you can actually, not that you're going to force, but kids, because here it's not like in other countries, even if you are, I see people that live with their kids and they're 35. So here you leave your house until you're prepared, until you're married or until you're prepared, you leave your house. In other countries like the United States, for example, and that's why I was asking, like, I don't know if it's the same in Vietnam or Japan, kids leave when they turn 18 or even 21. They leave
Yes,
home
yes.
and they decide on their own, right?
Yes, I used to live in a small village with my parents, but when I turned into 18 years old and I enrolled in university, I need to move to the capital of Vietnam to go to university.
Okay. So yes, here the kids leave their nest, their house, until they're ready, until they have a stable job or they are ready to get married and to start their own. So sometimes kids here, they live, they study, they go to the university, they start working, they help out in the house to their parents. And then when they're ready, like in their 30s, they leave. So that's
But
why
but
parents' opinions are important.
yes, but our school is quite far away from our hometown,
hmm
so
Even
we need to move.
hmm and even if you
To,
have to move, but you're still under your parents' dominion.
so what do you mean?
Dominion, you're still under your parents' power, or you're still, because they are the ones paying for your university. If your parents pay for your university, if your parents pay for your clothing, if your parents pay for your food, then you're under their dominion.
Can you write out this word for me, please?
Yeah, sure. Let me see if I write it correctly because I think it's like that. Dominion. Uh-huh. See? Dominion, which is, it's because dominion is when your parents tell you, no, you have to go to this university. You have to stay there, okay? If you're living in the capital, for example. No, we're only going to give you 100 well, in this case, dollars. I don't know what the currency would be, but we're gonna give you 100 and you have to live with that, okay? So they decide what you do, what you eat, where you go. So that's the dominion. You still live under the rules. Even if you live at another, even like in this case, because some kids also from the countryside, they move to the capital to study, but every weekend they have to go back and visit their parents, for example, or every 15 days, or when they're on vacation. So they still live under their parents' dominion. Even if they live here, they might have a little bit more liberty because they're not with their
Do that.
parents.
We can.
I'm sorry, say that again. Did you
Oh.
say something?
It's a connection. Yeah, Wi-Fi connection is really bad. So now you can keep speaking.
Even if you live far away from your parents, but living under the dominion means that if they pay for everything in your life, then you have to obey the rules or respect their decisions, at least in this type of countries here. So they can decide what you need to study and where you need to go. That's living under dominion. Now, in other countries, parents allow their kids or to decide what they want to do with their lives. We're doing, like in my case, I'm very open with my kids and I tell them, hey, I want you to study what you want. Because in my case, my mom was like, I want you to study communications. And my dad was like, I want you to study economics. And I ended up being a teacher, right? So yes, I was a little bit rebel on that. But I started working at a very young age, so for me it was normal. So I pretty much became independent by the age of 17. So the same I tell my kids, like if you want to study what will make you guys happy, right?
Yeah. You use the word rebel. What does it mean, please? Rebel.
What? Rebel?
Yes.
This one? Rebel, yes. To go against the rules. To go against the rules. So I was a rebel daughter. I went against the rules. So yes. So let me add this website. Were you able to open this, by the way? Were you able to open this? Are you able to open this spreadsheet? Yes?
Yes, so the link that you gave me.
So I am going to I'm adding this one, and I'm also going to be adding another one. Hold on, this one and this one. I would like to listen to you record yourself, Trihn, okay? So one of the things that I would like to do is for you to pick random questions from both websites. And then on Facebook, do you have WhatsApp or no?
No, I don't have.
Okay. So maybe what happens with Messenger is that Messenger only allows you to do 1 minute, right? 1 minute audios.
Oh, I didn't know.
I think it only allows you to record for 1 minute, I think. I'm not sure, but you can try. So what I want you to do is, I want you to record yourself, like with your phone, like, oh, do you believe in love? And then you would answer, I consider that I do believe in love for the following reasons. Well, first, because of this. I can
select anything I would like, or what topic can I pick?
You pick the questions from the website that I shared here. So you go here and you go to, I'm going to type this as homework. Okay. So, and you go here and then you pick from these two websites the questions that you want to practice. Okay. The idea is for you to practice them speaking for 1 minute about the questions. And then you go to get another question, get another question, get another question, get another question. So it's the same exercise we just did, but now you have two websites to pick from. So you're going to get your cell phone and you're going to read the question and answer it, okay?
Yes.
So recording yourself, and it has to be spontaneous. You don't have, the idea is for you not to plan your answers. And this is preparing you to be able to answer any type of questions, personally speaking and professionally speaking, and any type of questions with no hesitation. Because sometimes what happens is that you are like, I don't want to talk about my private life. I don't want, I feel uncomfortable. And in English, for us, it is normal to speak about anything. So not having any taboos or any mysteries, but I know that some cultures are very reserved about personal questions or personal life questions, right? So it is very difficult sometimes to be able to elaborate. But in English, it's not, there's no secrets whatsoever in English. So you have to be able to speak about anything, okay? So that's why these questions might be like, I had never thought about this, because nobody would ask you that question. For example, in our countries, it's very normal that people ask you, so how much you make a month? But maybe in your country, you would say, that's so disrespectful. Or maybe,
Yes,
it is
it's really
disrespectful.
silly question. If you try to ask a person about their salary,
And here, it's the first thing they ask you. Here, that's the first. ¿Y cuánto está ganando in Spanish, right? Like, how much are you making a month? Oh, like 1,500. Oh, wow. No, but you should be making 2,000 for that job, for example. So, like, people talk about it like something normal.
totally different culture.
Exactly. It's so different. It's so, or they ask you, so do you have kids already? No, you know what? We're just still, oh, okay. And we're very nosy. We're very curious. Latin Americans, like on this side of the world, I guess some are curious and some others are just interested in having a conversation. But I would say that we're very nosy. Do you know the
Nosy,
word nosy? Yeah? Do you know the word nosy?
annoying, annoying,
Nosy?
something,
Curious.
curious.
That's nosy
No,
from your nose. It comes from nose. You're so nosy. Like you want to know everything. And you're like, yeah, we're like that. It's it's very normal. So yes. So I will be leaving the websites here for you to pick from them. Okay.
yes.
And also let me also add hold on. I will also add, where are you, participants? Let me just add all this before we end. And give me a minute, because I need to. I will fix this because I don't have my mouse right now to fix it. This is what our conversation on the chat, okay? For you to have it also. And I will add this to another page, okay? I will have the pages, I will have the tabs according to the topics that we're looking at, okay? So have it more organized. That way you have more visibility and it looks more organized because it's messy right now. Okay? And do you have the link? Why was it difficult for you to log in today? It was a different link. Was it a different link, the one I shared today?
The link that I sent is just a moment.
Because I sent the link. That's the
Yes.
link that we're going to be using all the time, okay? The one that I shared.
Yes, I
For
will
you to
keep
save
this
it.
link.
For you to save it, okay, Trihn?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I guess it's 10 p.m. It's already 11 for you, right?
Yes.
And you have to go to get something to eat. Okay, grab something to eat. So I'll be talking to you when? When are we talking again?
Tomorrow.
Okay, so see you. Okay, tomorrow, which is like the next day, because to me, it's my Tuesday is. I'm sorry, my Thursday is already starting because it's 8 in the morning here. Look,
Oh, yes.
it's 8 in the. Look at my screen. See, so it's 8 in the morning, and it's what 11 p.m. for you, right? So we are
Yes,
15 hours different one another.
yes. So
So
it's still Thursday in the country.
in my country, still Thursday. It's starting Thursday.
It's starting Thursday after 15 hours.
Away.
Yes.
So we are 15 hours away. Yes. Okay. Well, have a nice rest. Okay. Talk to you tomorrow for you the upcoming days. Okay. Bye.
Yes. Bye.